All right, good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. I am in New York City. I'm about to start my day. So what's on the menu for today? So today, I actually have a chunk of clinical time. So I will see clients in the morning. I have supervision with my staff in the afternoon. And then, well, not in the afternoon, but basically around noontime. And then after that, I have a chunk that I've blocked off for like admin work. And today the admin work consists of billing. I do all my own billing, right? So I bill for my staff, I bill for myself, I submit claims to insurance companies. In addition to the billing, I also block off that time this afternoon to do like reviewing notes. So some of my staff are working towards licensure, and so I have to review all their notes and give feedback and things. So that's a pretty tall order today. Billing and reviewing notes is just kind of I really like that. It's kind of one way I get to teach people, but I have to be really focused. I have to read all the notes and make sure I'm giving really good feedback and catching anything that might be there that requires adjustment. The billing though, now this is a task. I can't say I like it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's really tedious. I have to kind of go, you know what? I'm actually going to invite you into that process. So in just a little bit, we'll cut to me talking. I don't know how it's going to go. I'll invite you in and we'll talk about it then. But the goal for today is quite simple. It's to get all of my billing done and all my notes done. I don't know, given that I have all the other like the clinical stuff and the supervision, I don't know if we'll get to it. I'm hoping we will, but that's what I'm hoping. Right about now, I'm going to hop into my clinical work. And then, yesterday I had talked a little bit about the calendar being like a Jenga tower. Did I get everything I wanted to done? No, I did not. I wasn't able to get I'm working on like migrating my email over to Google Workspace. And then, I wanted to get more of that done and I wasn't able to really get it all done. But I also wasn't feeling totally overwhelmed because I started to prioritize, right? I talked about being in a season of prioritizing. And I've been prioritizing using the Eisenhower matrix. I don't know if you've ever used that before, but super, super helpful. I made a video about it. If you want to learn more, I guess I'll link that down below. So today I'm feeling really good. I'm really thankful to have a private practice, to be able to do what I do. I'm gonna, I guess, take a couple sips of coffee. That's something I need. I need coffee every day, multiple times a day, actually. That's a side note. Anyway, I'm about to hop into the clinical sessions and supervision, and we'll catch up when I'm about to start the admin work. Oh yes, and so the goal for today is to get everything done that I need to, and that is the billing. Well, I guess I don't need to. The goal for today, let me think about this. What is my goal for today? My goal for today is obviously to do all my clinical work, all my kind of staff meetings and supervision. That's already built in, so that will happen, barring any, I guess if there's any major issues, then maybe not. But for the most part, that's set in stone, right? So I think that will get done. But the billing, I want to get through all of it. I want to do all my billing for the week. So what I usually do is I'll bill for the previous week, and I'm hoping to get all of that done. Now, of course, I have buffer time set up for later in the week in case I don't, but that's the goal. Hopefully we can get it all done. All right, so it is 1:50, and I'm getting finished with my clinical sessions, my supervision, my staff meetings, and then some miscellaneous admin stuff. I anticipated to be done around this time, around 1:30 or 2. So we're kind of on target with that. But then so I have a hard stop at 5. I have family responsibilities that require me to be, done with work at 5. And then if I think about it, I haven't had a break yet. I actually had lunch during my supervision. So I haven't actually had a time to take a break. I probably should take like a 20-minute, 30-minute break just to kind of rejuvenate a little bit. I realized there's this pine tree that's in the way. And then once I do that, it will be almost 2:20 or 2:30. then when you think about it, that only leaves 2.5 hours to do my billing, the supervision, like the reviewing of notes and things like that, which is going to be cutting it kind of close. This is a moment where kind of like that anxiety might creep in, like, oh my gosh, I only have 2.5 hours. How am I going to get it all done? So at this point in my day, what I try to think about is I'm still going to go for it. I'm still going to try to get all of it done. But I'm reminding myself, and you're kind of watching me do that right now, I'm reminding myself that I may not get all of it done, and that's okay. So I'm going to start with what I need to get done. And in fact, actually, the billing and all that doesn't technically need to be done today. It just, Tuesday happens to be the day that I designated. Worst case scenario, I can stay up late tonight and do it. I can try to squeeze it in another day. I don't want to do that. That's a little bit disruptive, but I can if I really, really need to. So that really helps to remember that there's not as much pressure as I sometimes think there is. And then also, the other thing I like to do is kind of like factor in buffer time. So in at least all of my days, I make sure that there's buffer time somewhere, right? So that, I'm not like constantly up against, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of events and things to do. So I can always, again, if I don't get it done today, move it to some of the buffer time that's later in the week. And then another thing that I actually like to implement as well is I like to keep like not several blocks that are 2 hours long, but a couple of blocks of time that are about an hour long that don't have anything planned in. That way I can kind of like squeeze leftover stuff into those blocks as well. On top of all that, it's important to rest, right? So although my inclination is to keep going, keep pushing, and to just start the billing and admin stuff now, I'm going to sit down and take a little bit of a rest. I think that'll make me more productive in the afternoon. But yeah, I'll catch you in just a little bit in the midst of billing. All right. All right. So we are pretty much through the end of the day. I just finished up all of my billing stuff, and I did get through all of that. So I got through all my billing. I gotta say, like 2 hours of billing feels like 4 or 5 hours of other work. And you would think it would be easy, but it's like you have to be very detail oriented. So just for example, if you're submitting a claim, you got to make sure the diagnosis code is right. You got to go back and double check your notes to make sure that the timestamps on them are correct, so that you're doing the right. If you have a 60-minute session, you have to make sure the code is right on the claim. You got to make sure that the therapist actually did a 60-minute session. You make sure that's all accurate. You got to make sure diagnosis codes are correct. You got to make sure the modifiers are correct. That being said, you just have to make sure everything on the claim is right. Now, I made a video earlier the week about mistakes, and they're all okay. Yeah, it's okay to make a mistake. You just don't want to make them because they're a little bit tedious to fix. So anyway, that being said, just doing billing, it's just so much detail. And I do it, about 2.5 hours straight, my brain starts to hurt a little bit. So I was gonna try to do the supervision notes as well, but I really want to do those well, so I'm not gonna do that. What I'm thinking I might have to do, I used to have like one big admin block where I did billing and I did notes, but I think because the practice is growing a bit and there's more to do, I might have to split those into 2 chunks. At least that's kind of the way my brain works. Maybe 1 chunk for billing and then 1 chunk for reading notes and the supervision of notes, right? So I have to read through notes and provide feedback and kind of sign off on notes and things. I did not I did a tiny bit of that today, but not too much. So yeah, we got to the end of the day. We did not hit the big goal of getting all of the notes and all of the billing done, but we did get all the billing done. And I think that was the most important thing for me today. I have some buffer time tomorrow where I'll read through notes, and actually I'll probably be much more fresh if I do those tomorrow. So yeah, that's kind of what went on today. You notice I started and end my day with coffee. I cannot get enough of that. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Anything else about this day? Overall, good day. I'm still still feeling pretty good. I am a little fried because of all the billing. Um, yeah, I guess one thing I'll share is I'm really glad to have my private practice, and there's flexibility in the sense of you have I could technically do the billing at different hours if I want to, but I'm thankful to have that flexibility. Yet at the same time, when you have your own business, you have to be very structured and make sure that you're in some regards disciplined and set aside time and make sure you get these things done. And for today, that was my job. My job was to get that done. Now I have family obligations, so there's a hard stop. But yeah, feel good about today. Looking forward to tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you then.